the fuck out!
Get the fuck out.
Hey, what's up, gang? It's Adam from the Commander Smiths and got a little deck tech going on here today. Not our normal really late start time like we normally do, so I'm just getting this over with the afternoon. It's a Friday, got to enjoy the weekend, even though it's kind of crappy out here where we are. But yeah, here we go. We're going to be doing Elsha Threefold Master. There's a couple things to this deck here. So this is going to be a full deck tech. I'm going to go through. It's the final deck, so I already did all the leg work, so you don't have to deal with the cuts and how long it takes me to cut cards. Seriously, this is taking me like 2 weeks to get this thing done. But okay, so I'm going to do this deck tech. Then I will end the video. If you want to see how it plays out, I will do a goldfish video right afterwards, which is typically around 15-20 minutes. So I'm just going to get the deck tech out of the way, and then if you want to, you can jump on probably 5 minutes after this video ends if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, you can just click the link that's going to be below. Either video will get you there. So first things first, if you've clicked this video to watch this video, why not just hit that like button? If you're not subscribed to the channel, do so as well. That helps us out more than you know. That's all the tag stuff there. So just that helps us out, helps this channel grow. Please do so if you can. All right, so how this deck works. There's an angle that I was originally. I had 3 different ways of doing this. I was like, well, I don't want to do well, I'll tell you the typical way of doing this. Typical way of doing this one, the easy way to do this one is just go spell-slinger. Just go straight spell-slinger with it. And, you know, surprise attack, you're swinging in. They go, oh, I'm going to block with this 1/1. And then you go, boom, boom, boom. I play this instant speed, and it pumps up and all that stuff. Fun stuff. You can do a lot of stuff with that, a lot of damage. You just have to make sure you do a lot of draw in that deck if you're going to go that style. So I like that, but I already have like 3 other spell-slinger decks. I'm like, okay, this is just starting to feel a little too much like other ones. The other way I was thinking is you could do a lot of the eggs. You could drop a lot of 0-drop mana rocks or artifacts, I should say, or 1-drops or 2-drops artifacts, and just really lean into the artifact synergy of this. That's another way you could do this. The one thing that I leaned into, and actually I'm excited about this because I went with anthem effects. And the reason why I'm excited about it is because I don't like anthem. I know they're decent. They're good in decks and tribal stuff, or, you know, helping out bump all your creatures if you're making mass creatures. As you can see down here, there is only 12 creatures in this entire deck. So this isn't big because with Elsha, when she hits, you make a bunch of monks that also get prowess. So now they're benefiting the same way that Elsha's benefiting, and she's a monk as well. So really, you just need her to swing through, and you start creating your huge army. So that being said, anthems I think are kind of cool in this because, yeah, they're not as they're not a surprise attack. So you're not like, oh, I attack and then surprise, here's an anthem. But the thing is when you play the anthem, 1, you're going to get a bump from the prowess part. But 2, you have a constant effect that's out there. So even when your turn's done, all your creatures get the bump. So they're not just 1/1s anymore. They go up to 2/2s or 3/3s or 4/4s. So the other part of it is a lot of these are enchantments. So they're very hard to remove. You know, enchantments get removed, but they're one of the hardest things to remove in the game besides lands. So I think this is going to be really, really strong. And I finally have a use for anthems. I don't use anthems, and this is my opportunity to do it. So I like to get out of my comfort zone. The other thing I was thinking, I'll give one other thing. For the spell-slinger part, you could do that in 2 parts. You could either do it like half draw stuff, you know, like your Brainstorm's a good example, but Brainstorm kind of things where you're playing one and you're getting a card advantage, getting a card back, or replacing the card. Or you could do a lot of spot removal. So I was kind of leaning that way because I don't like to do spot removal as much. I like mass removal, not wraths, but being able to pick out a bunch of things to destroy. This was the opportunity. I was like, oh, I can do this as my 1-drop, you know, spot removal things. I got away from that. I do have some more spot removal in here, but let's get to that. Let's get to the deck. You guys know how it goes. We have our red, white, and blue colors here. 1/1 trample prowess. When it deals damage to a player, create that many 1/1 white monk creature tokens with prowess. Now, the thing you have to note here, and I learned here while doing this deck, is you can have double prowess. So if you have another creature, which there's a couple in here that do that, that gives your creatures prowess, your creature's going to have double prowess. So if you cast a non-creature spell, they'll get 2/2 instead of the 1/1. So, all right, first things first, we got 15 anthem effects. We have Banner of Kinship. So this is going to come in later. This is your coat of arms-ish kind of thing. Oh, no, it's more of a Door of Destinies is more of how I want to think of it. Door of Destinies, you play that, and then when you cast creature spells, it gets 1/1 counter. It gets a counter, and then all those creatures of that type get the 1/1 for each counter on it, blah, 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 blah. I like Banner of Kinship a little bit better, and I've talked about this before, because it's more of a game winner. It's something you hold in your hand for later. Once you have a big army out there, once you have your meat force sitting there, you drop this, and that's the game winner. Whereas if you get Door of Destinies later in the game, it kind of sucks, because if you've played all your creatures, you're just like, well, this is a dead card. Banner kind of sucks in the early game, but it's a 5-drop anyway, so you should be building up. So I think this one just works better if you're planning on going through people that way. So a surprise attack, you have a bunch of 5 monks out there, 6 monks, whatever, everything gets 6+6. They all get the counters on them. And so I think that's pretty sweet. All right, so Cathara's Crusade, when your monk hits, when Elsha hits, you're going to make a whole ton of monks, and they're all going to be huge. Instead of 1/1s, they're going to be huge there. Coat of Arms, these are just kind of your game winners as well. They're just going to make your monks get really big. So these are the ones I would play. Well, obviously, Cathara's Crusade, you want that out earlier. And then playing your monks, or, just swinging it with your commander, and then that's going to get nuts. But these are your game winners: Coat of Arms, Banner of Kinship. Eldrazi Monument, great. You're making lots of tokens. This is going to get your guys' evasiveness. You're going to have Indestructible on it. Just great stuff there. Feldar Retreat. This is more so on your playing your landfall stuff. We have 5 fetches in this, so there's an opportunity to get things pumped twice in a turn for this one. But at the very least, you're getting one to give them vigilance as well. So there are blockers there. Ferocity of the Wild. So again, they're all non-humans. They're monks, so they're going to get 1+1 or 1+0, and the trample. I like the trample part of that, because your little guys could get jump blocked, but this is going to help you get through a little bit there. Flowering of the White Tree, your commander is going to get the 2+1 in war, but also your other guys are going to get 1+1, so that's kind of nice there. One of the new cards off the set is the Frostcliff Siege. Both sides of this is good, so it just kind of depends. If you want to do, hey, I'm low on draw at this point, I need to fill my hand up, boom, you do the Jeskai part of it. If you have enough army, you have enough cards in your hand, and you just want to swing through, boom, you do the teamer part of it when you play this card. So they get the 1+0, trample, and haste. I love that part of it too. We have Herald. Where's my button? Hang on, kid can't even read. Where is it? Where's my kid can't even read? Come on, button. Kid, there it is.
Kid can't even read.
It's our banner. So this one you get to choose your creature type. So we have 2 of those in here. We have this banner. We have the Patchwork banner. They're going to get the 1+0 in this one, and this one they're going to get 1+1. So this one just a little bit better there in that, but they're about the same what you're trying to do there. We got Radiant Destiny. So this will be nice if you should be able to have the Ascend, which is when you have the City's Blessing. But if you don't, at the very least, they're getting 1+1. If you have the Blessing, they also get Vigilance, so that's kind of sweet there. Renewed Solidarity. This is nice because at the end of the turn, they're getting 1+, or what is it? It's you're creating a token. That's right. You're creating a token for everything that entered that turn. So you get the tokens that come into play on tap. Plus, it gives your creatures the 1+0 bump. This could be also considered one of the game winners, Shared Animosity. So that when your creatures attack, they're getting 1+0 for each other creature that shares a type. All your creatures are pretty much monks in this whole deck, so that's going to be brutal there. Spear of Heliod. What's nice on this one is it also has the little, you can destroy target creature if you're dealt damage. So it has a little bit of spot removal if somebody attacks you. And the last one of our anthems is War Leader's Call. So not only is it giving your guys 1+1, but it's also doing the secondary thing that I'm doing in this deck. And I have not revealed that until right now. But it is an ETB. You're making a bunch of creatures. I also have the other angle of the Perforos effect. So when your creatures enter the battlefield, you're to deal 1 damage to each opponent. We got a little, I think 5 of them in here, so not a huge package, but even if you just get one of these out, it's going to do a big number on the board. So I have my Day of Dragons, which is our game winners. A couple of these should be added in there too, but here's the ones that I talked about already. We had the Coat of Arms, Banner of Kinship. Chroma's Will, when you're playing, this ends up being in a lot of my decks because it's protection and it's also game winners. And I really love this card. I play with it a ton. If it's a white deck and I'm playing creatures, it's going in there because it's also giving you that life link. So even if it isn't game winning, it can get you back up in life. Every time I play this card, it just helps. If it doesn't win me the game, it's at least getting me back in the game if I'm struggling at that point. The one we have not talked about yet is Throne of the God Pharaoh. This is cool because you're attacking with all your dudes. You have a bunch of dudes. They're tapped. At the end of your turn, everybody loses life with how many creatures you attacked with. Or anything that's tapped, I should say. But everything that you attacked with, you probably hit somebody pretty hard. And then you have all of those tapped. And then everybody else gets hit just as hard with the tapped stuff. So this is a key one later. And it's only a 2-drop. So you can play this. I mean, you can play it early. But you know what I'm saying? This can be played after your attacks because it's at the end step, which is nice. I love that it's not at the beginning of your upkeep before you untap and all that stuff because I like that it's the end step because you could win the game by just getting this out after you've done your attacks. All right, our draw package stuff. It's a lot of on the attack. We have Coastal Piracy along with Enduring Curiosity. So whenever your creatures deal damage, you're going to draw cards. Distant Melody if you're playing a blue deck and you're playing Tribal. This is a great card to have. Not only are you going to get the prowess trigger off of that, but you're also going to draw a crap ton of cards off the monk stuff. This one is going to make it so you can get your monk through, your commander, your Elsha through. You get the unblocked, and you draw a card, so it replaces itself. Jeskai Ascendancy. This is going to untap your dudes, plus it gives you another prowess effect with the 1+1, and you get to draw and discard. So you get to filter through and try to find the best cards for you there. Kindred Discovery, this is probably one of the biggest all-stars in this deck because you play it. You're going to draw cards whenever monks, it's not cast. I love that. It's whenever a creature of the chosen type enters. So you're going to say monk, your commander deals damage, you draw that many cards. And when you attacked with it, it's also a monk. So you're drawing off of both of those. So Kindred Discovery is just really, really solid in this. Sensei's Dividing Top. Yes, we talk about this card a lot, but in this deck, it's really good because 1-drop, boom, you get the prowess effect. You can tap it, put it back on top, draw a card, put that one out into play. If it's another draw card effect, it's something that's allowing you to draw, you draw Sensei's again, you drop it again. Like, this can go nuts. It worked a little bit better when it was in the spell-slingy part of it, because then you could do things like the enter the enigma thing here, where you're drawing one card, so you just keep replacing it. But in this, it's still good. I got a lot of draw stuff in this. At the very least, you're getting to do 2 spell. You know, let's say that the spell on top is actually pretty good, or allows you to draw it again. You can get up to 3 on that. So it being cheap, Sensei's is always good in deck, but especially in this deck, it's going to be very nice. Skip Through Space, same thing as our Enter Enigma. Wheel of Fortune, let's refresh your hand after you've used up everything there. Whirlwind of Thought, this is going to get you draw off of all your spells that are not creatures, which, remember, you only have 12 creatures in the deck, so you're going to be drawing quite a bit of cards here. All right, ETB stuff. Like I mentioned before, we have 5 of them. So we have a Gate Instigator. This is basically like a Perforos. I mean, if you think about it, it's 4. You tap the 2 and then the Offspring, and now you have something that's dealing 2 damage every time a creature enters the battlefield under your control. Impact Tremors doing the 1 damage. We know about our Perforos. Terror of the Peaks. The only problem I wish, your guys are going to enter as 1/1s. So you're not going to be able to do much more. But it's still good. It's Terror of the Peaks. It's another added effect on that when your monks are hitting the battlefield. Then we already talked about War Leader's Call. All right, we got 6 things to make things evasive. We already talked about 2 of them. We already talked about 3 of them. We actually already talked about 4 and 5 of them. Oh, no, we didn't talk about Aquacious Form. This is just going to be your aura, make it unblockable, and then you scry. It's a 1-drop, so I like that in there. But Aroas, God of Victory. It is evasive a bit because it's giving them that menace, right? It's menace. Creatures you control can't be blocked by 2 or more creatures. Yeah, so they have to be blocked by 1. By 2 creatures or more. So it kind of gives you evasiveness, but then it also makes it so that prevent all damage that we've dealt to attacking creatures in control. So it's protecting all your stuff that's attacking through. So they have to block with 2 creatures, and most likely you're wiping out 1, if not both creatures there. So this is pretty sweet in this deck here. Extra attack. We did have extra attack. This is really just the double strike package because I got rid of the extra attack when I got down to the cuts. But we have Ember Cleave. You're going to have a lot of creatures attacking, so it'll be nice to drop that on there. Double Strike is going to be key in this because your guys are going to enter, especially if you have Cathar's Crusade out where they get 1+1 for each counter that hits. So let's say if you're 5/5, your Elsha's hitting. You hit 5 monks will hit the battlefield. Now your Elsha just got bigger for the second double strike, the second strike on your double strike. And so then your next one's doing 10 instead of the 5, so this can be really brutal. Any of the double strike stuff. I like the Fury, Psychotic Fury, because you get the draw off of that. This one is great when you don't have trample. My dude has trample, but you can give one of your other monks trample as well. Two-headed axe. You play it as the double strike part, but later you play it as an equipment to double the power of whatever creature you have it equipped to. And then this is for your tokens. This is for the monks that you make. Your Sun's Vanguard, your attacking tokens have double strike. This is also kind of like a draw in a way, because whenever one or more tokens you control attack a player, they don't have to deal damage. They just have to attack a player. So if you have 3 other opponents at that point, you attack 1, 2, 3. You exile 1, 2, 3 cards off the top of your library, because it doesn't say one or more opponents. It just says a player. So you get 3 of those cards, and then during any turn you attack with this, with a token, you may play that card. So let's say you don't cast it this turn that you do it. You're already tapped out to do all the fun things you're doing that turn. Well, the next turn when you attack with your tokens and she's still out there, you can cast those cards. So this is really nice, and it adds to your prowess effect there. So this is going to be pretty nice, a pretty good card in this. I have this in life game, but really this is our removal. We'll get to the removal in a second. I had more life game, and again, I tag these early to when I do my sorting, so sometimes it's just left over. So this is really, it's our removal. Destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments, and it's instant speed, so you can use this as your prowess stuff there. All right, protection. We already talked about Chroma's Will. We have And They Shall Know No Fear, so this gives you a little bit of an anthem effect. You're choosing your monk there. Gets 1+0. Boros Charm, you can either choose the double strike, which is nice for your commander if this is early game and you're not worried about the indestructible, or you do the indestructible for the later part of the game to save your stuff. Dawn's Truce, permanents you control gain hexproof, and if you give them a gift, you're going to get them indestructible as well. I don't have the Tefiris in here. I don't have the phasing stuff because I want my stuff to stay in play. So the phasing did not help me in this situation, so I stayed with more of the indestructible stuff. Flawless Maneuver is always great when you have your commander out. I do have all the boots and greaves for this. I think it's the first time I'm putting Lava Spur boots in a deck, but I really wanted that haste, so I got these guys in there for my commander, just in case it gets killed and I want to play it later and get hit in that next turn that it comes in. So this is why I have these guys in there. And then Unbreakable Formation, it is giving you another Anthem effect and the Vigilance, which is really nice if you cast it during your main phase. All right. Now we talk about some of the little... These guys are going to be all-stars in this as well. I got a lot of all-stars in this, but we have 4 prowess guys. This is where I learned that you could have double prowess. It was from Bria, Riptide Rogue. So this has prowess, and other creatures you control have prowess, and it says if a creature has multiple instances of prowess, each trigger separately. So yeah, this is given the double prowess, but it says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature you control can't be blocked. So actually, I should probably add this in the evasive part, because this is going to make it so you can cast a spell, now your commander's unblockable, which is fantastic in this. Monastery Mentor, great. This card, it's been around for a long time, but this is the first time I'm actually using it, because I didn't care about getting extra creatures necessarily. And the fact that they have prowess, not until I'm building this deck, it works so well with this, because I didn't realize that. I thought it was just making 1/1 creatures. But when you're building a prowess deck, this is just great in that. Narset, Enlightened Exile, creatures you control have prowess. So again, we're doing the double prowess part. But whenever it attacks, exile a target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from a graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So it's any graveyard, it's not just yours. So that's been kind of nice there. And it's also given that double prowess there. And Roaming Throne, yes, this is just great. And any decks that you have tribe stuff going on, it's just this, and anything that has a triggered ability, I should say, with your commander. And this does. The prowess is a trigger. The damage is a trigger. So not only is you're casting something and boom, you're getting it twice with your prowess, but now when your commander hits, it's also a trigger, because it's on the trigger. It triggers once it hits. You're making double the token. So it's almost like you're having like an anointed procession along with the double trigger of ETB stuff. So of what do we want? Panharmonicon. So this is really, really solid in this. It's just a great card. This is only going to go up. They're going to have to keep reprinting this to try to keep that price down, because you can see it's already 28 bucks for your lowest copy of this one. All right, our ramp rocks. So we only have 7, but everything's really low CMC in this, so I feel pretty comfortable with it. So we got our Arcane Signet. We already talked about the banner. Jessica's Will, Land Tax, a low 1-drop there, Soul Ring, and Thought Vessel there. So not much there. And then removal, we only have 6 as well. So I think when I've goldfished this a lot, this is my turn 6 game. If I'm not under control, the game's pretty close to being over. Like, it can get out of control really quick. But some of these here, we already talked about Heliod's Intervention. We got Chandra's Ignition. This could be a way you wipe everybody. And at the same point, you could play one of those, give your stuff indestructible, and then Chandra's Ignition. Boom, you kill everybody's stuff. You kill, do a lot of damage to players, and then you swing in for the final blow. So Chandra's Ignition, along with Indestructible, is going to be very nice. And at the very least, your commander just wiping everybody's stuff, even your stuff, in a pinch, is very nice. This is always a good card if you have ways that your creatures are getting really big. Path to Exile, Swords of Plowshare. I don't normally play these, but I'm playing these in this because they're 1-drop. It's going to help with my prowess stuff. I know they're very good cards and everybody loves using them, but I like playing things like this. I know this isn't talking about creatures, but I'm just saying as an example. I like to pick multiple things if I can. So I tend to play cards like that instead of the 1 picks there. But these work perfect there. Vandal Blast can be a 1-drop, can be an overload. Very nice there. Winds of Abandon, again, can be a 1 spot removal or can be an overload. So these are the key. I know this is very low on the removal chain here, 6. I normally play with a lot more, but you're going to be burning through your deck pretty quick. So you should at least have a couple, if not 1 or 2 of these in your hand there. Token doublers. Okay. So I talked about Anointed. I talked about Renewed Solidarity. We know about Mondrak. This is basically your Anointed Procession on creature form. Just really great. And you can give it Indestructible, which is also nice. Elspeth. Elspeth is more important than all the ones that are in this. This is the best one. Yes, I bit the bullet and I went out and bought this one because this is just a great card. Like, and it's perfect in this. If you're playing token decks with white, this has to go in all those. I'm going to have to go back and put this in my Black Panther deck because it is that good. But it's doing the token doubling. But the thing is, yes, it can give you a token. But look at that 0. You see that? Let me get that mouse there. That 0 for big token stuff. 1/1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain flying until your next turn. Like, it gives them evasion, and it gives a counter. It's not 1/1 until end of turn. It's a 1/1 counter. This is the part that's, I mean, obviously the token doubling is the biggest part that's fantastic about it, but this added bonus is just ridiculous. So this is an all-star in this. Probably could be considered a game winner. But okay, so that's the deck in a nutshell. I really want to hit the lands really quick just to kind of show you what I do. I do have this deck listed in the notes below, so you guys can check that out. But I typically run with my 5 fetches. I have Cavern of Souls just to make sure that my commander does not get countered. I know our play group doesn't play with a lot of counter spells, but I do want Cavern in there, especially since most of my stuff is Monk. And then when I do my fetchable stuff, it's Shock Lands, Dual Lands, and the Surveil Lands. Those are the 3, and in this case, I do have 1 Triome because it is a 3-color. Everything else, that's my base. Like, that's what I work from. If I have a 3-color deck, 4-color deck, 5-color deck, 3-color deck, it's Shock Lands, regular Dual Lands, if you have them. That's why my price of the deck is so high, is because of those, and your Surveil Lands. Surveil Lands are all-stars. Like, they just are. They should go in. That should be your turn 1, turn 2 search if you don't have a play, because they're just really good. If you don't have them, get them before they keep going up. And then the other ones that are just special that aren't part of that, I got the 4 basics of each. Minas Tirith, we're going to be attacking with a lot of creatures, so you're going to be able to draw off of that. Atwara, yep, we're going to have a little bit of removal or bounce in there. Rogue's Passage to help with the unblockable. Reliquary Tower, you're going to be drawing quite a bit of cards. We got 3 Tree City, because, again, you're playing a tribal deck, so you want to have that. And then Urza's Saga, that's where the...
Get the fuck!
Actually, it'd be Lowry's.
Get the fuck?
Urza Saga in there. I love Urza's. If you're playing with if you're playing at least with a Soul Ring and one other 1-drop or less artifact, it's one that you probably want to get. So I have my Senseis in here. It's just ones that I go to get. So that is the deck in a nutshell. Like I said, I am going to do a goldfish right after that. So I'm going to end this video and I'm going to start the goldfish. If you're watching this later and you want to watch the goldfish video of me goldfishing this deck, just click on the link. It's going to pop up. Just click it. And that should do it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. If there's cards that you think that I should add, or maybe a different angle. Maybe there's something I missed with the anthem, or maybe there's an anthem that I missed, because I like this anthem effect. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm excited to play this deck. So, all right, gang, that should do it. Check you later. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye. See ya. Hey gang, the best way to support the Commander Smiths is make sure you slap that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our online store, commandersmiths.com, where we have metal tokens,